I guess that's number 1. Boop. There we go. It's our first little peafowl, Iqbal. That's our male. Welcome to the zoo, little guy. And you can see, right, how he's got the tail. You see that? And then the female evidently doesn't have one. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to a beautifully snowy, yet quite dark indeed, Maple Leaf Wildlife Park, where in the last episode we have set up this very habitat right here in order to hopefully get some new species going in our park. Now, we are going to go and continue on that very task today, hopefully setting those species up, and also looking into the possibility of maybe allowing guests to go and enter the habitat to interact with the animals, because the animals that we're looking to get into here would be very well able of those sorts of interactions, and would apparently not be dangerous to our guests, we would hope. So, you know, the dream would be that we could make that happen. And, well, if possible, you know, that would be absolutely glorious. I would really love to see that. But first things first, we'll have to go get the actual animals in here. We will have to go and make the habitat ready, which is going to be a whole task in it for itself, you know, getting all the vegetation in there, making sure the animals are comfortable and everything, getting some enrichments going for them, and then, you know, also what we probably need to do is go and set up some donation boxes around here, because of course, in the end, we do need to make money to ensure that we're not going to go bankrupt, as well as, of course, setting up some all-important education around this habitat. So lots and lots to do before we can even look at anything further from that. But before we get going on this very task, I would say, if you're new around here, if you do happen to enjoy this very episode, of course, please make sure to go ahead and smash that subscribe button right down below. That would really mean the absolute world to me. We're currently quite the small channel, still looking to reach that magical mark of 1,000 subs, and every single person really does so much for reaching that goal. So thank you so much if you did that, but without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. Alright, so the way that we're going to get started then is, as we've gotten this habitat now all beautifully enclosed, we will go and look at getting our Indian Peafowls in here, or, well, getting our Indian Peafowls in the first place, because as far as I remember in the last episode, we didn't actually go and get any of them going just yet. Customs seizure. Oh right, so that's where they originally came from. But yeah, so these here were too old to actually get them sold, unfortunately, which is a bit of a bummer, but we have them stored now in animal storage, because unfortunately we cannot afford to have them out there being fed every day, so I guess that's a little bit of a way for us to save some money. That said, before we actually go and do look at the Indian Peafowls, it may be worth while apparently looking at vet research, because, you know, we completed something right there, which is always good, I suppose. There's nothing that is currently out here though, so I think we are going to go and swap the vet to researching something else, which is going to be our eastern brown snake, for which we don't have any enrichments yet. Well, I was looking to look. Let's do this as well. Oh, apparently that's not done yet. So, what I was looking to look at, though, was quickly having a brief glimpse at our animals, because, oh my god, man, there's a lot of bisons right there as well. I do have the feeling that we already have too many going on again, and costing us a lot of money. So we do need to keep very close tabs on that. Also, we kind of already have too many Goliath frogs and Gila monsters again, don't we? Holy moly. Can we kind of avoid that, please? That would be nice. We're going to go and quick trade some animals out so we don't instantly, because you all know the issue if we keep this going and we don't actually do anything about this, right? Just for those wondering why I'm doing this now. We're quite quickly going to run into the situation again where we have animal welfare protests, and we don't want to have that happen because our park is not really in the most potent financial status currently anyways, right? Now, where in the world do I get access to their welfare stats here. So exhibit, layout, cleanliness. Okay, apparently 3 of these is still totally fine. Now for the bears. Oh my god, there's 4 again. Help. That is an issue. Oh right, no, these are in the trade center, as you can see. So that's totally fine. We have 2 in the habitat. Issue with these being that they're just insanely expensive. I think it was like 20,000 bunks per feeding per bear. Something mad, basically. And the wolves, honestly speaking, not that much cheaper either. Well, I think the thing is that the juveniles, well, we didn't really want to sell the juveniles because, like, look at the stats. It's amazing. It's glorious. And then here, I mean, she's already quite old, and she's like our only female that's currently, you know, at a breeding level of age. Same with this male, and these 2 here are just a bit old, while the others are still all too young. But we do need to make some adjustments there. Cool. Otherwise, though, that looks quite fine. So let's go and get back to our actual task. Just kind of trying to keep tabs on all the zoo financials as well while we're going a little more than we used to, because I think we all know now that it turned out to be a good bit of a mistake not to do so in the first place. So what we're looking for is Indian Peafowls, and well, male, female. Apparently it is only the male ones that do have these like beautiful feather plumes on their tail, whatever you call them. I've got no clue, no native English speaker, apologies for that. But yeah, so apparently, and that's something I learned aside from Planet Zoo privately, it's only the male ones that have these. So very, very interesting stuff indeed. And then yeah, you can kind of optically also see it that the females do look a little bit different. The male ones, I guess, are the ones that you're mostly used to from zoos, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure I ever saw a female Indian peafowl ever in my life. So, you know, interesting little fact aside. Moving on from that, already kind of moving a little too far off topic. We want to go to Zoopedia, because I do not remember how many of these we need to make them happy. Because, you know, there's always like a little bit of a social group size. There we go. So, male bachelor group size excluding, so up, I mean, it says 4, and then 4 to 16 for female. But we're going to start with 1 male and 3 females, I would say. It's kind of the little recipe that we found out works quite well, because I mean, what I found out when really researching a lot of the mechanics, and was something that we really did quite wrong in the first place, is that, well, if you do have too many males for too little females, it usually leads to a lot of fighting between the animals, which is of course not a great thing, because the visitors don't like it. It's unhealthy for the animals, they get injured and so on, so it's something that you definitely want to avoid. So, and at the same time, you know, 1 male peafowl can perfectly take care of breeding off enough little peafowl babies, chicken, juveniles, whatever they're called. So, totally fine. 1 male, 3 females is the plan. So let's go ahead, move on with that. We're just going to go and filter here for a quick second. Right. So, for the male, what options do we have? I'm always a bit confused about these appeal ratings, right? Because what is the difference between the number and the plaque thingy that they get? Because you see, this one's got 831, which is a high number. You would think that's good. This one's got 831 as well, for instance, you know. But then he's got bronze and he doesn't. She doesn't. Apologies, but, you know, and then you've got 766 with silver, which is super confusing. So I'm kind of wondering, does one say, like, how appealing they look, which is interesting for the visitors, and then the other stuff is kind of all the stats, basically? Is that how it works? That's kind of my current assumption, but it is a very, very complicated question. Now, we can maybe compare these two right here, right? So, well, this guy's this one's a lot younger, I have to say. 11.5 years sounds quite old to me. I don't exactly know how long they live, but, I mean, nearly twice the age. I mean, that's not a great start. He is a bit better on longevity than the other one, but to be honest, you know, the other one's a lot younger. Fertility's a little lower, which is not great, but to be honest, on the other hand side, I mean, there's going to be 4 females, so I'm sure he's going to do just fine on that end. So we're going to go and adopt this one. And then we're going to have to go and have a look out for 3 females. Now, I do see 4 bronze females here. Some a little younger, some a little older. Longevity, size. I mean, this one I would say is a decent balance, so we're going to grab her. She's kind of a very prone to falling sick and small, but otherwise, I mean, she's old is the issue. She's quite old already. You know, I don't want to buy an animal that's going to, like, perish within a year or 2. This one here I like, also quite balanced, also not too old, so that's quite good. And then, I mean, in terms of just looking at pure stats, I guess it would be between her and her. Now, to be honest, I mean, this one is like... This one is 2 years older, but you do have to give her that she's got a lot more... No, she's got less longevity, in fact. Quite fertile. Which could help to kind of... Let's go and grab her, because I think, you know, the fertility could kind of help with the lower level of fertility of the male peafowl, right? We'll do it like that. Now, looking at our animal storage, we're going to grab these 4, going to send them to the zoo, and they're going to go into their beautiful new home. Glorious. So, can I go and set this to daytime somehow? I'm sure we can, right? Oh, camera light. Whee! Didn't know that was a thing. But I do remember that at least in Planet Coaster you were able to manage this, no? It doesn't appear to be the case that I can make any changes here. There's filters. In-game filters. Interesting stuff. Okay, but let us, in any case, kind of, you know, watch our peafowls getting there. Unfortunately, you know, right into the snow. I'm sure we're going to have to instantly install some heaters or something, but we can't really tell before they've really been delivered, right? So, deliver thy peafowls, por favor. Where are the peafowls at? We demand that... Ooh, peafowls. I guess that's number 1. Boop. There we go! It's our first little peafowl, Iqbal. That's our male. Welcome to the zoo, little guy. And you can see, right, how he's got the tail. You see that? And then the female evidently doesn't have one. So, it's interesting, right? I never knew that. Let me know if you ever knew that. We'd love to hear. One habitat keepers, some... Okay, we... Mechanic cannot reach habitat. Oh. Yeah, so we do need to set that up in a second. I think we have just not integrated the habitat anywhere just yet. So we definitely need to make sure to do that. In fact, I think we said that we wanted a whole new set of employee buildings and like to find some new work zones, because this was not the only habitat we're going to build. We were going to build a second one right there, so we do need to take care of that momentarily. Now, before we do that, I do want to take care of making sure that my... peafowls are happy, right? So, first things first, I mean... Right, they do not want snow whatsoever, understandably. They want a lot of short grass. So I guess I need to put some heaters up in the end. Does it say anything about temperature? Doesn't really, but you know, I mean... I guess we're putting heaters up. Is actually, yeah, for the other ones we've got. Okay, so let us go get started. Heaters with these thingies, right? Is one sufficient? I would guess so. That looks quite good, I would argue. We can just quickly get time playing while that thing, you know, goes rolling away. Just gonna set it to 22 degrees Celsius for the time being. And there goes all the snow. Good stuff. Okay, I hope that's a start. Now, I do think we need to cut the grass here, probably. At least in some places. Oh, it does seem there's a lot of snow still. Well, that's great. It's not what the range thing you would have indicated. But okay, then we're going to go adjust that. So we're going to move this thing over to here more. And we're going to go and add a second heater. Somewhere like there. Right, and then we're going to go set this one to 20 as well. And then that should cut down on the amount of snow even more, I would hope. Go away, pesky snow. Yes, beautiful. So, that fixes things a little bit. Well, you can see we've got too much long grass. So what we now need to do, just get in some short grass. We'll get that in primarily up front here, I feel. Where like guests can also look into the habitat, get them a little bit more of a view on the peafowls, and then, you know, that's going to make them nice and happy. To be honest, all that grass looks quite short. I'm a bit confused about that one. Anyway, so moving on from that one, what else do they need? We need enrichment. We need a little bit of habitat stuff. Oh yeah, hard shelter is what they would like. So I mean, do I just get them like a... like one of these big shelters? Surely is too big. Beds and shelters. Let's see what options we have after removing the heater thing. Oh, animal burrow. They're not. Are they going to be chilling in animal burrows? I cannot imagine they would. But you know, we can try and provide them with that. Yeah, no. Oh, well, let's play for a second. No, unfortunately not. I mean, makes sense, right? Well, why would they be chilling in that? So, oh my god, that one is big. I thought the other ones were huge. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to give them like a hard wood shelter. Just plonk it down here, right? Sink it into the ground a little. Boop. And we're going to give them some bedding, right? And we're going to make it leaves. Oh, right. So there we go. Could get some small leaves on the edges here. Tie it in a little more nicely, you know. And that's where they can be chilling. Cool. So that should now cover them, I would hope. I mean, that's more than enough space, I would argue, for them. Still doesn't change the hard shelter thing. Oh no, there we go. Right. Cool. So that should be working out. Now, in terms of enrichment, that's something that we definitely need. And I do not know how far we're going to be on that. In fact, I am tending to say we'll swap Maribel here over to the Indian Peafowls just to make sure we get those enrichments ready to go. I'm sure there's going to be some. But I'm also rather sure that for, like, there's going to be some sort of gap. Because, I mean, there's no food enrichment here, as you can evidently see. So, maybe a little scent marker thingy. They can play with some sprinklers here, you know. Just to cool them down in the hot summertime. And that's going to get them there for toy enrichment, which is good, which is a start. For food, we unfortunately don't have anything currently. Now, moving on from that, what we will also, of course, kind of need is we're going to need some level of food bowl and some level of water bowl. So, maybe a little trough out here. And yes, I know, I mean, I would like to kind of design all the habitats a little more. We need to see about that maybe in the future too. But we'll just go and get them like some food spots. Maybe not directly next to the sprinkler. I'm quite sure they would appreciate if we wouldn't do that so their food doesn't get wet. But you know, otherwise, some food spots, some drinking spots. I think that is quite nice and quite fine. Now, this all we've pretty much fixed, I would argue, environment-wise. Apparently, they're also quite happy currently. Not too happy with the aspen tree, but, well, we'll move that out at some point. And, you know, then we need to see. I mean, in terms of all these habitats, I would argue that most of them are way too empty anyway, so we do need to go and do something about that. I mean, look at this. There's literally nothing going on in there. The only thing where there is something going on is the bear habitats, and, you know, I would argue that this one is the way more pleasing one to look at, even though, honestly speaking, we've really not put that crazy effort into this one either. But still, you know, it does on average feel a lot prettier. So yeah, something to keep in mind there. Now, that out of the way though, we do need to make sure that the work zone here for the Indian Peafowls is going. So, the question is kind of how in the world are we going to do that? Now, I mean, we do technically have these guys over here. They could take this over for now. Maybe we're going to let the guys from this work zone take that one over for now, and then once we add the other habitat, we definitely need to make sure to add more people to work on this stuff. What do you guys think about that? I think that's hopefully fine. So if we do look at the work zones, one habitat, it must be this one, right? It is this one. We're going to go, wait, in another, oh right, that's, okay. But yeah, so we're going to go add the habitat to that. Then they're going to have 2 habitats as well. Hopefully they'll manage the load for the time being. And then we'll go and add more stuff after the fact, right? Look at them. Look at our beautiful Indian Peafowls. Ladies. Sir. I love it. I do think peafowls are a beautiful sight to behold, aren't they? I really do enjoy watching peafowls hopping around. I mean, birds in general, I think, are absolutely beautiful animals. And, you know, peafowls are just such positive and pleasant experiences, you know. In my childhood, they would always walk around the zoos freely. And, well, you know, you'd of course have some level of respect for them. Oh, boy, I didn't need to see that, you know. But still, absolutely beautifully having them just run around right next to you. Not scared in the slightest. Absolutely beautiful birds. Really cool. That said, what I did want to look into was the potential of having guests visit our peafowlers. And I have already done a little bit of research, and apparently this is very well possible in Planet Zoo. The thing is, oh my god, he just spread his thingies. We missed it. No. Spread them again. Damn it. Spread your... I was going to call them wings, but I guess their tail thingy, I don't know. Do it again. But yeah, so I have researched, getting back to the original topic a little bit, the potential of people actually... Animal died? Oh no. Rip. Rest in peace, little wildebeest. 21 years of age, it's a long while. But yeah, so I have... apologies, still a little bit sick, unfortunately. But I have researched the potential of guests actually visiting our animals in the habitats whenever suitable. And it turns out that is very well possible. But you need a different sort of entrance. Is one already sick? Injured! Oh no! Little girl injured herself. That sucks. But yeah, so you do need a different kind of entrance. I'm not sure we have that yet, to be honest. So let's maybe have a look where that would even be. I guess on the barriers, gates, and there must be like a guest gate kind of thingy. Oh my god, we're at minus 3,000 bucks again. I just looked away for like 2 macroseconds. Honestly, I mean, the economy in this game is keeping me so on my back foot. Is absolutely insane. We cannot take a breather here, can we? I mean, the habitat gates in general, as far as I know, would be only for the employees, right? I do not think that we can make any configuration here. To make that happen. So is it that we need to research these first? That's just like actual barriers. Habitats? Blueprints. I'm unsure. Let me research that for 1 second, guys. Alright, back we are. So I've done some research and I'm, well, a little sad because as far as I can tell, the gates should just be right here in the barrier section. And nobody on the internet mentioned any research kind of being attached to unlocking these. as you can see, all of these gates... Oh no, there's one! I am so blind. I am absolutely sorry, everyone. Here is a guest gate. Okay. We're good. I lied. I'm sorry. Ah, God. Okay. Now, blindness aside, you can see that it is actually possible to go ahead and build a guest gate. So, that is definitely what we're going to be doing whenever we actually get any money, so that people can actually visit the Peafowls. It's going to be so awesome and so cute, and apparently it also has a very good effect, because, you know, guests are not going to be complaining about any bad levels of, like, view or something, you know, because of course they can go right next to the animals and see the animals up close. That's absolutely perfect. I really, really like that. So, we're going to have to do that in the next episode, because evidently, as you can see, we're out of money. Our finances are down the drain again. So, in the next episode, then, we're going to go somehow fix our finances, hopefully, fingers crossed, you never know with this game. We're going to go get a guest gate up, and then hopefully people can go and visit our Peafowls. Aside that, of course, what is still on the list is the donation boxes and the education bits, and then this habitat, at least in its raw form, is going to be done, and we'll be able to go ahead and move on straight to the next one, where we can go and get some apes in the zoo finally, which should also be super, super cool. For today, though, I'm ending this episode off right here. I hope you all very much enjoyed it. Of course, if you did, please make sure to go ahead and smash that like button right down below for the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon in order to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. With all those things out of the way, though, as usual, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll catch you in the next episode very, very soon. Ciao.